I'm the identification manager for Commissionaires Manitoba. So I run the fingerprints, security clearances, criminal record checks for the commissionaires and civilians. Born and raised in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Started off with Navy League cadets, Admiral Bidwell Corps, for Navy League cadets to Sea Cadets to Naval Reserves at Scotian, and then the next step was regular force, and then I went and reversed it when I got out from regular force to Sea Cadets to Naval Reserve, now to Navy League, and as the division commander for Manitoba for Navy League. So I did the full circle, and it was a matter of my mother come home one day, and she had 3 boys, and she said, I need one of you to join something, to do something, and she was talking to a lady on the bus who turned out to be my good friend Derek Grant, his mother. So I said, yeah, I'll join. So I met Derek Grant, and this is another good story. He was PPCLI, so I lost track of him in our teen years. I was out in Victoria with the Navy, and he was out in Victoria with 3 PPCLI, and a friend said, here, I want you to meet this guy. You guys are going to get along great. And I walked into the bar, and there was a what? So he got PMQ down the road from where my PMQ was. He got posted to Winnipeg 3 years before I got posted to Winnipeg, and now we're both commissionaires. What's that camaraderie? I had a guy in the IDEN section who was just joining commissionaires last week who was retired Army, and once we started with the joking and the banter back and forth, he looked and said, I miss that. And that is why I'm coming to commissionaires, because you can't get that anywhere in civilian world other than here, because you're with your own. You're comfortable, you know what you can say, what you can't say, and you know how you're going to get treated. I had an easy transition all the way through until my second time I left, and I did the Depart with Dignity, and that kicked me into a bit of a depression because it's like my son said, Dad, I didn't think you'd ever take a uniform off. So yeah, I had a hard time transitioning from something I've known and done all my life over to a civilian life. And that's where commissionaires also come in handy, because I have people to talk to. So after I got over the depression part, and you know, my old commanding officer at Chippewa, Lieutenant Commander Paul Stiff, him and I spent many times sitting down and talking, and yeah, I shed a bunch of tears, and you know, but you know, after being with commissionaires for 3 years, I finally got over that, and it's like, yep, I'm where I should be, and you know, this is not the Navy, but I'm still with military friends and comrades, and I also belong to the Army, Navy, Air Force Veterans Club, and that's another way to keep me with like-minded people. I'm the Sergeant at Arms for Manitoba, Northwest Ontario Provincial Command for ANAVETS. I'm also the Sergeant at Arms for Joint Veterans Association, and I'm also the commissionaire representative to the Joint Veterans Association. So any veteran stuff to come on, commissionaires are still a part of it, and we're not forgotten, because people seem to forget that we are still like a veterans organization, because we employ current serving and retired. So, you know, I'm trying to keep that out in the forefront so people, yeah, okay, commissionaires too should be involved in these things.